Hey Hastings, welcome to today's Daily Explainer from HastingsNow.com. We've got a really packed update for our local community today, mainly because, well, we are facing some severely intense summer conditions out there. We're going to start with an urgent weather update tailored exactly for our area, pulling right from the very latest alerts. After that, we'll take a pretty fascinating trip back in time for our On This Date segment. We have a ton of vital info to cover today, Saturday, July 25th, 2026, so we are just going to jump right in.
Okay, let's dive into this. 102 degrees. I know what you're thinking, but no, that number isn't a typo. That is the actual peak heat index we are expecting this afternoon right here in Hastings. Now, the air temperature itself is forecast to hit a sweltering 94 degrees, but the humidity, it is going to crank that feels-like temperature way up past the century mark. And listen, this isn't just uncomfortable weather. A heat index of 102 poses a severe physical danger if you're unprepared or if you find yourself caught outdoors for extended periods today.
Section 1. Hastings Weather Alert. Extreme Heat Warning.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how you need to structure your Saturday to stay safe. Basically, your morning is your only real window of opportunity. It's going to be mostly sunny, and temps are going to climb fast. But those early hours are absolutely your best bet to run errands, knock out any yard chores, or maybe take a quick early walk down by the river. But once the clock strikes noon and that extreme heat warning officially kicks in, things change drastically. The air becomes incredibly humid, highly uncomfortable, and honestly, downright dangerous. At that point, getting inside to some air conditioning isn't a luxury anymore. It is an absolute necessity.
You know, what's really concerning about today's forecast is actually tonight's low temperature. Usually the sun goes down and we finally get a break, right? Well, not tonight. Clouds will slowly roll in, but temperatures are only going to drop to around 73 degrees. We'll have this very light wind, maybe 5 miles per hour, shifting out of the south overnight, but it is just not going to be enough. So if your home doesn't have AC, it is going to stay uncomfortably warm well into the night. We are expecting very, very limited overnight relief.
Section 2. Beat the heat. Actionable safety steps.
Think of this part as your personal survival guide for the day. First off, if you absolutely must step out, keep it to lightweight, loose-fitting clothes. You also need to drink way more water than usual today. Seriously, hydrate before you even feel thirsty. Like we talked about, get that strenuous yard work or those outdoor sports done right now, in the morning. If you are out and about later, you have to take frequent cooling breaks. In fact, if you're downtown this afternoon, proactively plan a stop inside an air-conditioned business just to lower your core body temperature. Also, and this is critical, never under any circumstances leave kids or pets inside a parked car today. And finally, just be a good Hastings neighbor. It literally takes 5 minutes to check on someone near you who might not have AC to make sure they're doing okay.
All right, everybody, take a deep breath. It's intense out there, so we really need a quick palate cleanser. Here is our local weather joke of the day. With the heat index near 102, even the Hastings Bridge may look down at the Mississippi River and say, "Hey, save me a spot." I know. Pretty cheesy. But hey, keeping a sense of humor is at least one way to stay cool, right?
Section 3. On this date, a July 25th time capsule.
Let's move to and see how this builds a really fascinating picture of history. We can actually draw a timeline linking 3 radically different yet totally monumental events that all happen to share this exact date, July 25th. We've got a massive leap forward in aviation back in 1909, a literal musical earthquake right here in America in 1965, and a huge piece of local Minnesota infrastructure history from 1984. Let's dig into each one. So, early on this very day in 1909, a French aviator named Louis Blériot did what most people thought was completely unthinkable. He completed the very first airplane flight across the open water of the English Channel. Piloting a plane called the Blériot 11, he flew about 22 miles from France over to England. And this wasn't just some neat parlor trick. It completely shattered the world's perception of flight. By crossing an international border over water, Blériot basically proved to everyone that the airplane wasn't just some crazy, dangerous experiment anymore. It was a legitimate, brand new form of transportation.
Fast forward a few decades to July 25th, 1965. Bob Dylan walks onto the stage at the Newport Folk Festival, but he doesn't bring his usual acoustic guitar. Nope, he brought a fully amplified band. He played an electric set which included Like a Rolling Stone, a track he just released days prior. Now the folk music crowd, they were absolutely stunned. It was hugely controversial at the time. People actually booed. But that brief, loud performance became this permanent symbol of an artist taking a massive creative risk. By just plugging in, Dylan totally shattered expectations and permanently changed the entire trajectory of popular music.
Finally, bringing things a bit closer to home for us in Minnesota. On July 25, 1984, the Minnesota Department of Transportation made a really sudden, dramatic call. They completely shut down St. Paul's original High Bridge. Inspectors had been looking at it and found some incredibly dangerous corrosion and major structural problems in that towering wrought iron structure. I mean, this bridge was a local legend. It had carried horse-drawn wagons, the very first automobiles, and thousands of sightseers high above the Mississippi River since way back in 1889. But because of what they found on this exact date, it was closed for good, demolished the following February, and eventually replaced by that beautiful double-arch bridge we all drive on today.
So, the crucial point is this. History is literally being made every single day, whether it's in aviation, music, or just the infrastructure right in our own backyard. But for us today, right here in Hastings, your absolute biggest task is just navigating this extreme heat warning. Please use the actionable steps we went over, double-check those official alerts and radar before you head outside, and honestly, go check on a neighbor who might need a hand. Stay cool, hydrate like crazy, and I'll leave you with this to think about. How will you safely make history today? Thanks so much for joining me for today's Explainer, and please stay safe out there, Hastings.